to what took place or what was done or the situation that came up in the sense of the court matter now. Yeah, the court matter. So Anil responded to the court matter. Right? And I want you to hear what Anil would have said. Right? I want you to hear what Anil would have said on the court matter. So today, in the short time that I have, I am going to play for you some stuff that I would like for you to come on the live and listen to. Okay? Okay. So you need to come on the live real quick, you know, because we don't have much time. And I want to hear your views on some of the things I'm going to play today. And it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Some of the things that Anil Roberts had to say in his life. And I'm going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to play a snippet of him addressing the situation. Okay, you know, I can't tolerate and take too much of Anil. Being real with you. I can't take too much of Mr. Roberts, so you know I have to take it in dosage, you know. It's like taking medication in dosage, you know, I have to take him in dosage. So while I wait for you to come on the live, looking forward to seeing all of you on the live. What to do? I'm going to take some calls while I wait for my listeners to join me on the live. So 342-0081 466-5391. What's going on with you guys? I heard in the news where a UNC counselor will have crossed the floor in Zaparia. So all who balling up at people and telling people stay focused and whatever. People, just like how people calling and saying whatever. People leaving the UNC. People are leaving the UNC. Yeah, the counselor left. Ali left the council in Zaparia. And he's now, I'm hearing that he has now crossed the floor. What are your thoughts about that? What are your thoughts about that, Trinidad and Tobago?
Protesters daily declare it. Bedlam on Nelson or Beatam. When you are we shut down the program. Vendors from Queen Street to Charlotte. When they hot and ready to riot. Whatever we do, like they what we thief. Once some facing adverse conditions, prime is their fallback position. And to this mindset I just fall. Good grief, good grief. Cause I remember back in the 90s when they killed for Michael Hercules, shoot the famous prison commissioner. The mother say she boy was a hustler. But for crimes like murder, there is no good reason or rhyme. Poverty ain't no damn excuse for crime. No way, poverty is no excuse. You don't ever win but lose. But with upward mobilization, nothing beats good education. Next time a youth man say it, hit him a slap one time. What poverty and no damn excuse for crime. No way. But tell your picnic them, all who causing the problem. Oh, ain't no damn excuse for crime. No way, poverty is no excuse. So when is your time to choose? Instead of shooting and looting, my pattern, my lot still recruiting. Tell them youth man chant it before our next church bell chime. Poverty ain't no damn excuse for crime. So hear me now. If you're starving to death with nothing to eat, that is no excuse. When them vendors get chased off the street, that is no excuse. Unemployment land, you can't get a job, that is no excuse. Boy, if you're struggling inside in no money club, that is no excuse. Broke and to thief, you ain't have a cent, that is no excuse. Can't mind your picnic, can't pay your rent, that is no excuse. If life...
Alright, so I think I have some persons on. I have people on YouTube who are ready to look at my videos. Alright, so take a listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago. Take a look at this, take a listen to this, and you tell me what are your thoughts. Alright, so we're going straight into it. So Anil Roberts would have responded to the situation with live sport, and I want you to listen to him. Okay? Listen to Mr. Anil Roberts. Listen, eh? You know, some of you doesn't listen. Listen to what Anil Roberts have to say about live sport. Listen. Come on the live. Come on the live. Alright? And take a listen to this. Take a listen to this. So I want you all to come on and take a listen. Take a listen. Take a listen to this. Anil Roberts, boy, I don't know, you know. Look good, yes? St. Joseph, people who live in St. Joseph, tell them, come on the live. This is what they want to vote for? Oh, let's serious. Come on the live quickly. Take a look at this.
That the judgment has come down. Honorable Speaker, before Friday 25th, and this letter is dated, let me just make sure I don't want to say any lie, you know. 4th August 2014. Only look at it right there. Okay? To the Honorable Speaker. Let me just read. I won't read the whole thing, you know. But everything I put here is coming to pass one by one. Honorable Speaker, before Friday 25th July 2014, this issue in live sport was a legal one, a civil one of a contractual nature which seemed to be heading to the civil courts for resolution. However, the laying of an incomplete, erroneous Central Audit Committee report of the Ministry of Finance and the Economy in this Honorable House stating inter alia that the entire payment of 34 million to eBeam Interact Limited was made notwithstanding that external attorneys advised that there may be grounds to contest and resist the final payment. This false conclusion transformed a civil matter into a criminal one. This issue in live sport was a legal one, a civil one of a contractual nature which seemed to be heading to the civil courts for resolution. However, the laying of an incomplete, erroneous Central Audit Committee report of the Ministry of Finance and the Economy in this Honorable House stating inter alia.
You hear what he said about the laying of the audit of the report by his political leader, Ms. Bisasa? I'm playing it one more time. It went over somebody's head. Somebody missed it. Listen to what Anil Roberts said that he wrote to the Parliament talking about the audit report that was laid by his political leader. Listen what he said.
Nature which seemed to be heading to the civil courts for resolution. However, the laying of an incomplete, erroneous Central Audit Committee report of the Ministry of Finance and the Economy in this Honorable House stating inter alia that the entire payment of 34 million...
Will you hear that? I don't feel only hearing that, man. If you all hearing, call me now. 342-008-146-65391. If you heard what Anil Roberts just said about the report that was laid in the parliament by his political leader, now Ms. Bisessa, call me. Call me now, 342-008-1466-5391. If you heard what Anil Roberts just said.
Actual nature, which seem to be heading to the civil courts for resolution. However, the laying of an incomplete, erroneous Central Audit Committee report of the Ministry of Finance and the Economy in this Honorable House, stating inter alia that...
Olia, somebody taking me for a fool, eh? I want you all to listen to him again one more time, and I will let it play out.
The civil courts for resolution. However, the laying of an incomplete, erroneous Central Audit Committee report of the Ministry of Finance and the Economy in this Honorable House, stating inter alia that the entire payment of $34 million to eBeam Interact Limited was made, notwithstanding that external attorneys advised that there may be grounds to contest and resist the final payment. This false conclusion transformed a civil matter into a criminal one. And the subsequent firestorm of unsubstantiated claims, allegations, counterclaims, and unwarranted attacks and assassination of character throughout this country has gone unabated. And Honorable Speaker, today I beseech you to clarify the record. But just about 10 years later, the record is now clarified that it was a contractual battle, that there was no corruption, no criminality, that there was a service provider just like a contractor who get a contract to do a road and he ain't want to do the road and he ain't want to build the road, and the Works and Transport Ministry or NITCO had to fight and go and get bond and so on. Those are issues that occur in contract and management of contracts. But the PNM didn't want poor black people to come off and get opportunities to uplift themselves. They didn't like 400 million, 200 million a year going down to the poorest of the poor, the most vulnerable. 200 million must go to a special country.
Right, so I had enough. I think I had enough there of Anil. But you heard what he said, right? You heard what he said? I tell these fellas and just talk from the two sides of their mouth, you know. You know that? All right, listen to this. Come on the live, taking this on the live. Those of you who just forget. Yeah, some of you just really forget, and I am here to remind you. Okay? All right, I am here to remind you. Those of you who just forget. I'm going to remind you a little bit now. Take a listen to this.
Anil Roberts is not in the clear just yet. This according to the Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi, as he addressed issues with the live sport audit a day after the audit report was thrown out in the High Court and the former sport minister re-emerged on the UNC platform. Ian Wason has more.
Justice Mira Dinamora had no choice but to quash the report into live sport. This is the view held by Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi as he spoke during a media conference at his new office in Richmond Street. He explained former Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar laid the report in the Parliament in 2014, thereby compromising the report.
And it is therefore something of public scorn that Mrs. Persad-Bissessar seems to have done something which very purposefully would have avoided a report standing in the public domain. And as I sat and I thought about this, I said to myself, this is a Section 35.
He added, the presumed vindication by the opposition leader of Anil Roberts, who is tipped to return to the Parliament, is premature.
I can confirm to you that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has certified that there is an ongoing investigation into the live sport matter, and that investigation is continuing.
Mr. Al-Rawi explained while the report had been quashed, there is still material for investigations to continue.
Because we have the evidence, because we have the substance, because we have the invoices that were overbilled and doubled up. because we would have all of the material which the report would have simply said, look.
Mr. Al-Rawi claims while serving as the Prime Minister, Mrs. Prasad Bisesa allegedly passed the report to the head of the public service, who incidentally happened to be Creed, who was also named in the report. He said nothing was done with the report until Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley came into office. Ian Rayson for C News.
You all heard that? You all listening? You all taking notes? You all taking notes? So, Faris Alwari, Minister Faris Alwari, SC, said what he had to say. Anil said what he had to say. Well, yeah, we going down the road. We going down, you know. Let's go with this now, man. So, you all remember this? How many of you remember this?
Over the last few weeks, the live sport program has grabbed headlines for all the wrong reasons. Corruption, ghost gangs and ghost companies. Allegations of financial impropriety and criminal elements that have infiltrated the program, supposedly receiving kickbacks. One man who claims to have cashed nearly $2 million in checks from this controversial program says he did not even lift a finger to assist in the live sport program. Speaking to TV6 News on the condition that his identity be concealed, fearing for his life, we'll call him Jim John. He says he realized he and many others were only being used as a pawn in this $1 million game.
We said we just scapegoats, and you said need to know and realize that, and that is causing plenty of the killing. This life sport thing, that was killing that causing.
John says he was enticed into getting into this fast money business by Curtis Gibson, who was shot dead a few weeks ago for his alleged involvement in the live sport program. He describes making this money like taking candy from a baby.
It's easy money, and of course I'm working on it. It's easy money. It ain't no robbery. It ain't no to kill nobody.
Providing us with what he called evidence, he brought some copies of the already cashed government checks made out in his name, one totaling almost $250,000 and the other $173,500, both bearing the signatures of two officials in the Ministry of Sport. The arrangement, he says, was simple. Cash the checks and take a 5% cut, while the rest he claimed was collected a few days later by top-ranking officials whom he sometimes met in the company of Gibson at the Hyatt Regency, West Mall, or at certain restaurants in East Trinidad.
Average check about 8. Close to 2 million, but was no 100,000, 300,000, maybe close over 500,000. Right. And you see the reason for that is not to raise no eyebrows.
The man who lives in a community torn by crime says the premise of the live sport program was to ease the violence by giving gangsters hush money to stay in check. He says his motivation for also cashing the checks was the promise by officials that he would later be given a check for close to $500,000, but that never materialized.
So, only wait now. Wait. So all that talk about nothing can happen and oh, this attack corruption talk is a lie. You all are seeing for yourself, you all are hearing for yourselves what took place, eh? It's 1:30, you know the time does fly, and I want to hear from you guys. So what I will do, I'll play the clip, continue to play the clip, let you all come on the live to listen to the clip, and I'll take some calls in between. So I'll stop the call, I'll stop the clip and take some calls, but I have some other stuff to play. So let's continue to hear what this guy had to say.
He boasts how easy it was to land the money from taxpayers' pockets.
You go, you sign for it and they get. Them and you have to sign up. Let's walk in the building and sign for it and get. That's what I tell you. Yeah, that's all I know. You do, you sign for it and get.
Have you ever done any work for live sport?
Never done any work for live sport or sport or militia sport.
Period.
Never.
So you collect money without doing anything?
Never. You could do your own investigation and see. Never. Who wants to what work we did? And tell me, if they come up in what work we did with taxpayers' money. Show me what we do.
TV6 News questions Sports Minister Anil Roberts last Friday about the allegations made by this man and the alleged infiltration of criminal elements said to be benefiting from live sport. Roberts kept a straight face as he answered.
Serious allegations of an international proportion, serious allegations about terrorism, criminal activity and so on. So I am eagerly awaiting. I have nothing to say because I maintain my silence. Terrorists.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon.
You remember Ruth Marchand?
Yes.
Well, he says a civil matter. But Ruth Marchand had to run for her life.
Okay then.
And get put in a safe house.
Okay then.
And they're not dealing with Anil matter. They was dealing with the judgment is against the people who get it 30 something million.
Yeah.
So his part coming up soon.
Don't worry now, man.
So I don't know where's the story.
Thank you.
All right, Pastor Google.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
All right, cool, man.
Right. Now, Pastor Google, the man that is being interviewed by the fellow, I'm wondering if that man's still alive.
I don't know.
That damning report. I mean, that because if you add up, right, and you summarize the thing, a fella could know this was discussed by Region or James. So that is very interesting. So if Anil Roberts didn't believe that these things were true, he didn't come and make no statement. So he damn well guilty, I say.
Well, don't say that now, I don't know that. Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chance. How are you?
Yes, doing an excellent job in prosecuting this matter as a journalist, bringing the cogent information and evidence. And let me make this point to you. I listened to former Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi.
Yes.
I listened yesterday to the former Minister of National Security, the Honorable Stuart Young. That is one of the wagons. That is one of the interviews. I want you to play their song, you know, because under former AG Faris Al-Rawi, he spoke about evidence for criminal procedures. And let me make this point also. There is something, those persons who are engaged as public officers, there's something in a charge called misbehavior in public office. You know?
Oh, yes.
That's for them. Something called misbehavior. That is what Anil Nambugan is facing as well, together with witness tampering. So I would be happy if you play Honorable Stuart Young part, so we'll circle the wagons a little more, because he too spoke about matters being followed by the police in terms of criminal allegations. The same thing said by Faris Al-Rawi. Criminal allegations to follow, as evidenced by this gentleman who just played here, say how he got the money and how he spent the money.
Okay.
Thank you very kindly, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
We didn't stop there. Remember, they had a man who called a press conference in the Hyatt, and he said, what's $34 million? That's a jiggle in the piggy bank. A jiggle in the piggy bank is how he insulted us, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Well, let me tell you all something. He go jiggle on this. On the 2nd of June 2017, on your behalf, we are pursuing eBeam Interact Limited, a company that was incorporated by the former Sports Minister Anil Roberts' family, and we're finding the links through forensic work. We're going after the jiggle in the piggy bank for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And I can tell you here today, without fear of contradiction, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is also going after the jiggle in the piggy bank and the other areas of live sport. But we have no control over that, nor do we interfere with it. But we, at the government, on your behalf, have done the work, found the documents, we've done the forensic work, we're following the money, and we're pursuing them in the civil courts of Trinidad and Tobago.
Hello, good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, just wanted a little clarification. At the very beginning, you had said that Anil Roberts responded to the court judgment of a few days ago.
Yeah.
But what you played was from about 10 years ago?
No. Anil Roberts read out from his, I didn't want to play the whole thing because he was just rambling, but he would have read out something when he would have talked in the parliament. He read from the Hansard, I believe it is, or the letter that he would have given to the Speaker of the House or whatever, about this whole 36 million. And when he said that Ms. Bissessa, he didn't say Ms. Bissessa's name, but he said that the audit report that was presented in the Honorable House wasn't finished, it was erroneous and whatever.
Right, so what I was just asking you is if he actually responded to the court judgment of a couple days ago.
Yes, he did. He did.
But what you played was from about 10 years ago?
No, I just told you. The first clip I played with Anil Roberts was him responding to the judgment.
The judgment of Justice Eleanor Donaldson Honeywell?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because what I was hearing was what he had said about 10 years ago in the Parliament. That's what I was hearing now. So I was at a loss. So I just wanted a little. I didn't know it was a live, immediate response.
Yes,
to
he did a live.
The judge said a couple of days ago.
Yeah, he did a live, which is he coffee, doubles and coffee, and he Douglas Politics platform, and he did respond to it.
So that was an immediate response to the court judgment. Oh, right. Right, I just wanted clarification. That's all. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. He responded, man.
Right, good.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good program. Pastor Google, Mr. Munilal and them don't understand Dr. Rowley yet. He not about leadership, about rah. When they interviewed him last week concerning the moving of the ships, you know what he said? It are not serious things. And they just a gimmick. As time go by, we will show him all the serious things where he feel. You see, they still believe that this regime, this PNM regime is just about rah. They have plenty. They ain't sleeping when the night coming up Pastor Google. Because some time ago, Dr. Rowley said the wheel of justice does move slow.
But it must turn.
It must turn. And they realize it now, and not just them on top, because I have 1 or 2 partners in this same life sporting. They buy SUV and crash it in 6 months' time. They trade. It's just a matter of time. Time longer than time.
Thank you very much.
Good program.
Same to you. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You see what you was telling the people, right? You see how the cases coming to light now? Don't think the government ain't doing nothing? Because you got to remember there's separation of powers. You have the judiciary, the executive, and the legislation. The judiciary, don't mind the wheel of justice turns, and it turns slowly. You see, when it starts to turn, it turns in slowly. And it have cases in there that have to think. Even the SIS matter, their assets are frozen by the court, He cannot touch anything from Panama in Trinidad and Tobago, It is frozen by the court. So don't, as you tell the people, don't think the government ain't doing anything. The government is following the money, as Ravi did say, follow the money. Thank you, Pastor Google, for the information.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Pastor Google. The second guard. I am 76 years of age, and I don't think I'm that foolish. What I'm saying is I want to know, you see, if the guy who said number one, if he's being paid to do what he's doing. I want to ask that from the particular question, because I've been listening to Sharon's show, I've been listening to yours, and this man speaks, and I hear children in the background, he said it's great. What I'm saying is he's not teaching his children anything, and karma falls on us when we behave like that. If they're paying him to do what he's doing, stop it, because that money is going to finish us now, and they'll chew him up and spit him out like a plum seed. So he better stop that and catch himself. He's too young for that. Go and get a job to do, because it seems as though you're home all day calling the radio for nonsense. Nonsensical. You're not making sense at all, young man. Have a good evening, Pastor Google. Good program. I want your son to listen to your program and get educated from it. Not from these kind of people who behaving like that. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
All right, good
Pastor
afternoon.
Google, I never liked the name of that project, Life Sport. To me, I think that your life or what, that is how I get it. And I'm saying, Pastor Google, if this little man could get that amount of money and he didn't have a business, what about other businesses? How much they got? And is everybody alive who was in life sport? I don't know. You know, because, you know, I am sure there are a lot of casualties along the way.
Okay.
And still happening. Have a good time.
Thank you very much. So, as I was saying,
Sport lies, another one crumbles as the contractual dispute went to court, and the sport company, which is the sport company that was overseeing live sport, won the contractual battle. Now there may be an appeal to recoup monies based on the paper trail and the assertions of the then sport company in the live sport program that a contracted goods and service provider was failing to do their duty. There was a paper trail back and forth, arguing and fighting to make sure that the country gets value for money. This was all turned upside down with P&M lies about 34 million for nothing and corruption, when it was a contractual dispute that was heading to the civil court. And yesterday, the civil court ruled that due to non-performance, due to lack of input, that the company, the taxpayers, will get back their money. This was only able to happen because the truth was there and it took its time. That it was a contractual dispute.
Right, so that's his point. His point is had nothing to do with corruption. It just had to do with a contractual dispute. Right? I want you all to hear that was Anil Roberts' based on that's his argument, that it had nothing to do with corruption with Mr. Daniel and them. It had to do with what you call it? What he just said? A contractual disagreement. That is his take on it. Right? But I want you to listen to this. Take a listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago. You see, because again, as I said, some of you does forget. Some of you does forget. So I am here to remind you. Okay? Alright? So let me remind you. This is Anil Roberts. Listen to him. Take a listen to Anil Roberts. Oh yeah, leave me alone, eh? I hope Mr. Vasan Barath is listening.
Program was designed for. And I think one of the saddest things here that I have seen, now we must also say, right, before I talk, that this is the process of audit that Mr. Dumas, that's why I was wondering about Mr. Dumas, because he knows the system. When this is done, this central audit, the ministry officials, the permanent secretary, the sport company, the live sport contractor, the directors and so on, are given an opportunity to respond to any queries or any statements in here. So this is not the final thing. They will do that this week and so on. But when you look in here, something that bothered me terribly was that laptops were bought for poor people, poor children. Children, well, I call them children, some people call them criminals, well, whatever you want to call them. Who are making the wrong choice, who are on the streets, who are robbing, who are involved in crime. This program is to take them out, try and get them in. The coordinators are not supposed to be mentors. They're supposed to be able to get these fellas off the streets into that center.
Were you aware of criminal elements in this program?
Aware of, I'm not a criminal element. I'm not aware. If there are criminal elements, are you aware that there are criminal elements in the studio, in the room there? Do you know? Understand this. This is a program to stop criminality. So it was designed for people who have records and who are doing the wrong thing. So I'm not understanding. But the issue was, you read out that I said that I would resign. Remember, this audit came about, and this is where the Prime Minister has distinguished herself apart from other leaders. When reports surfaced that the Jamaat al-Muslimin was getting 1.5...
The mammoth share of the live sport program.
You only hearing that? You're listening to this man? And in the video, the first video I played you is where he talked about the audit report being presented in the parliament that had whatever. Hello, good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, Pastor Google. How are you doing, sir?
I'm all right, sir.
All right. Once again, I thank you for regurgitating that information. Thanking you from the bottom of my heart. Facts, again, it has been established that E-Beam had some connection to the sports minister.
Right.
Anil Roberts. Also, Mr. Basant, when he was interviewing the anonymous gentleman, the gentleman said that he was cashing checks for up to hundreds of thousands of dollars and only taking a 5% fee.
Wow.
Meaning, Pastor, there's play pool, right? You know there's play pool, right? There's play pool, right? Okay. The objective is to sink the 8 ball to win the game. So in other words, you have to sink all the other balls and sink the 8 ball last. Understand what I'm telling you? You understand? So which suggests to me that it had some side pockets.
Okay.
Suggesting football was going on.
Yeah.
Also remember that Mr. Al-Rabi said, right? And the then Prime Minister compromised the report by laying it.
Yes, because it was incomplete.
Right, before it was prepared. Just like the issue the other day with the Auditor General.
Yes,
connecting the dots. And hear what he said. He said, 24 attempted to compromise the already found guilty criminals in the US who still down here playing hide. Right? Section 34 attempted to compromise but was caught in time. Howsoever, Section 35, which Mr. Al-Wari described, did come true, just causing the case to be forfeited.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Also, one more thing before I go.
Real quick, because the time gone.
Right? Real quick. You understand? He also said, Mr. Basant also said that it was alleged that hush money was being paid to keep the men and them in check. I'm going to locked on and it's not that way to hear where because each home stays big.
Thank you very much. I want you all to listen to this. Or they feel people, they really take people for fools, you know. But I want you all to listen to this and record this in the back of your head. Listen to this. Mr. Vasant Bharat, listen to this.
Alleged that criminals were being funded by the government, and this audit shows that that was not true whatsoever. What it does
But all of this mismanagement and all of these breaches and all of these, and I'm quoting the Prime Minister here, in terms of the discrepancies, fraud, theft, breaches and the proceeds of all of this occurred under your watch.
Yes, the proceed, under my watch.
As Minister. So that, we're clearing up everything that's in the public domain. So could you say to the public that you didn't know that a project that is worth over 130 million?
Let's go through one by one. First of all, the system is, as people know, a minister makes policy, goes to cabinet. I got the approval, came up with the concept and so on. Once you get the approval and you get the confirmed cabinet minute, it goes to the permanent secretary, and then they put an implementation team in place to then carry out what the cabinet said. So they put an organizational structure, they advertise, they hire people.
You hear that? Let me go to this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Very quickly, Pastor Google. I'm glad you made that point. The question is, did the minister facilitate the contract with EBM? Did the minister, and that's what I was talking about, that's what I was speaking about, misbehavior in public office. Did the minister facilitate the contract? That's the question. That's the big question. That is what you were saying that, yeah, you sign off, you don't have to sign, but did you facilitate it? Who went to the minister? Who went to the Minister of Finance at the time to speak about the contract for who? Did anybody do that? Who did that? Did anybody go to the Minister of Alario and speak about getting any particular contract for anything? Who did that? Perhaps an answer from that could help us. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chance, I have all them videos to play, but the time has gone. You see that question you asked him, Mr. Chance? Hello? Hello?
Yes, Pastor Google.
Yeah, I'm saying that I have all those videos to play what you said there, because the interviewer, Miss Hema asked him that. She said, didn't you take Mr. Daniel to Mr. Hawaii?
Thank you very much.
I have all those videos to show Mr. Chance.
That's why I use the word facilitate.
Yes.
You know, and I want to make it very clear for public. I'm asking a question, you know.
Yes.
I'm saying that did the minister facilitate, create an environment to encourage and facilitate? That's the question. I'm not saying he did, but that's the evidence we have to get. And if there's an evidence pointing to that, then is when we can talk about misbehavior in public office. Thank you very kindly, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chance. And that's what I'm talking about, listeners. That's what I'm talking about. You see, people try to hoodwink us and think that we are fools. Right? They hoodwink, they try to pull wool over our eyes and try to take us for fools. But we are not. And we will continue as a nation to see them for who they are. Hello, good afternoon, caller. Last caller before I leave.
Pastor Google, if it was a contractual dispute, did he take up that with the contractor?
Well, he's saying as the minister, that's not his job.
But didn't he create that environment for contract?
But he is saying as the minister, he didn't. He is saying that all he did as the minister was brought the policies and the ministry officials, technocrats, and all of them. They are the ones that would have done their work. But you know, conveniently, he knows his purview. He knows his job. But under this government, you remember, everything is being blamed on the minister.
But they're blaming our minister. They're not in government and they're blaming our minister for everything that the public servant doing. So then we should ask them back for money. Pastor Google, he's trying to fool people on the hill and the people in New Jersey. Those are the people you want to fool. I know your time is up.
Yes, my time is up. Trent Bigo, I'm out of here. I am out of here. I want to thank all of you for being on the live, 600 and something of you on the live, and those of you who would have listened on radio, thank you very much. I wanted to play this before I leave, but I'll give you a little piece.
Where does it end? Was it not enough for you to kill the father? You had to kill the child. 5 times you pulled the trigger. 5 times on a baby who couldn't have been a mother. She was a child. For God's sake, how could you look at that baby and shoot her in the face? You will never know what it feels like to bring forth a child. The 9 months it takes being a home to a baby that is in its developing stage, the nights that mother had to sacrifice sleep to wake late, and for you as a grown man to look at that child and murder her in such a rage.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of The Street 919 FM.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on The Street 919 FM. As we transition into summer, we continue to talk politics, current events, entertainment, and what's trending while balancing the talk with some of your favorite tunes, both old and new. Our purpose is to keep you informed and edify you, as well as to give you food for thought on the current affairs of this nation and the world. Keep it locked to The Street 919 FM every day, all day. Our on-air numbers are 342-0081 and 466